Today we rented the U-Haul toy hauler trailer. Trailer's empty and it's sitting pretty level. I'm gonna go measure the hitch height. Got the B&W tow and stow with the two balls. There's a 2-inch ball for this trailer. Just the trailer weight on the ball. We're looking at a hitch height of about 18.5 inches. It's about 18.5 inches to the bottom of the coupler, and on the hitch itself, the top of the hitch is around 18 inches. I also got the heavy-duty vehicle tie-down straps. This trailer doesn't come with any way to tie down your vehicle once you've loaded it on the trailer, so you do have to purchase the straps or bring your own straps. 3,300 pounds working load each tie down, 10,000 pounds brake strength each tie down, 13,200 pounds combined working load. Comes with an all-weather carry bag. Won't scratch or damage wheels. Read all printed instructions inside and on the bottom of this box before using this product. Here's what you get in the kit. So there's 4 tie-down straps, and they give you 4 axle straps. I'm going to be trailering this F-150. It has an independent front suspension and a solid axle rear. There's the front suspension. So one of the axle straps is supposed to go around that control arm. And then another axle strap goes around the rear axle tube. Which is that. I've also seen a YouTube video from U-Haul showing the use of the axle straps through the wheels. I might try that method. Now I'm going to pull out the loading ramps. Push down and pull. about 2 feet, so we're like 10.5. Something I don't really like about this U-Haul strap kit is all the videos I watched from U-Haul showing these straps included a latching hook on the end of the straps, and on the kit that I got from U-Haul, it's just an open hook. The other thing that the videos show is the straps going through a D-ring on the trailer, and the way that they've configured the strap end of the ratchet is that they've added this D-ring onto the strap, sewn into the strap, and the spacing is like perfect from D-ring to D-ring on the trailer to end up hitting this ring on the strap. So you can't even really strap it down like how they're showing in the video with the straps in the kit, because they've sewn this D-ring into it. And I tried looping this end of the strap around the wheel, but it's too short, so my wheels are too big to get this portion of the strap around the wheel and to meet up again at the end. That hook won't reach this loop, so I have to do it this way using the axle straps, and the hook was not ideal for looping into these two rings. It looked like they were going to pop out, and so I ended up running the strap through the rings, which is also not great. I would really prefer a hook there. So the strap kit, at this point, I'm not really recommending it. I'm going to have to figure out something different for using this trailer in the future. Alright, I got it all strapped down. Don't forget the 2 safety chains. One at the front, one at the rear. The rear safety chain comes out of a pocket in the trailer on the passenger side rear. You gotta pull it out of that hole and then wrap it around the rear axle. On this driver's side rear tire, this stupid D-ring was hitting my brake rotor. I didn't want to strap it down the way that I did the passenger side, which was just feeding that strap through the wheel with the hook on the D-ring on the trailer. That D-ring on the strap is right back here. It's right at the back of the wheel on the passenger side, but on the driver's side, that D-ring, because the truck isn't perfectly centered on the trailer, it's a little bit further over to the passenger side. That D-ring was hitting the brake rotor right here, and so I ended up using one axle strap, wrapping it around the wheel, and then running the strap through that D-ring. And fortunately, the spacing on these 2 rear D-rings is just far enough apart that you don't hit this ring on the strap. And so I was able to feed the strap through that ring, through the rings on the axle strap, and then to the ratchet. And on the front, hooked onto a D-ring on the trailer, through the wheel, and then the ratchet end on the D-ring on the side of the tongue. Same thing for the front passenger side. But because the truck is off center to the passenger side a little bit, I had to squeeze this hook into this D-ring. It's a bit of a tight fit, but I just made it with the tire sitting almost right on top of that D-ring and went through the wheel and then from the wheel over to the ratchet, which is hooked onto the D-ring on the side of the tongue. So front driver and passenger are strapped down exactly the same. It's only on the rears that I had to do it differently on the driver's side using that axle strap. I'm gonna have to trailer this truck again next month, and I'm gonna order the dog bone straps that U-Haul sells. I'm not really happy with how this looks, so I'm gonna try the dog bone straps next time. The dog bone straps would sit on the front of the wheel and give you two pockets, one at the back of the wheel, one at the front, and you would run your strap through the hole in the dog bone, strap around the back side of the tire, and then back through the other hole in the dog bone here, and then you can run that strap to a ring at the front, and then the other end of the strap would be onto a ring at the rear. So I think that would look a lot better and would be a lot easier on the wheels of the truck. Here's the measurement on the coupler with the truck loaded. Looks like we came down about an inch, about 17¼ inches. And about 16½ inches to the top of my tow and stow hitch. Checked the straps after driving a few miles, had to tighten one of them, but it looks like it's holding up okay. We got the truck and the trailer to our destination. I was gonna back it up a driveway, which is a hill, and one of the drawbacks with the brake system on these U-Haul trailers, the brake operates when the drive vehicle presses the brakes and it senses that the trailer is pushing forward, and then it engages the trailer brakes. When I am braking going uphill, that trailer brake isn't doing anything for me. It felt too sketchy to go back up this steep driveway. So I'm parked down at the bottom and I'm gonna unload the truck down here. So I'm gonna do this in the dark, unfortunately. But the wheel straps held up. I did have to stop and tighten the passenger side front strap and both of the rear straps. The highway was pretty bouncy, so both rear straps were a little bit loose when I stopped about halfway to check on them. Here's the U-Haul strap kit. I just didn't feel good about having an open-ended hook like this around the axle straps, and so I ended up not hooking onto them, and instead I ran the strap through the two D-rings, which is also not great for the strap. Cut into it a little bit, so I don't really have a use for these straps going forward. If I were to rent the toy hauler again, I would get my own straps and not buy the U-Haul kit, because it's just too easy for these hooks to come loose if you hit a bump. It just seems way too easy to have one of these rings slide off, because the straps did loosen up a little while I was driving. I had to tighten them twice. It's all pretty normal, but I would prefer having the extra security of a snap hook here for hauling a vehicle on a trailer. Oh, there's a little deer right there. There's a couple deer right there. Ready to return the trailer. Got it all hooked up, crossed the safety chains, plugged in the breakaway cable, lights. Here are the warnings they give you. They give you some instructions. You want to load heavier in the front, 60% in front of the load line, 40% behind. Empty trailer weight 3,155 pounds. Maximum cargo weight 6,845 pounds. Maximum gross weight 10,000 pounds. So this is a very heavy trailer just by itself. Dual axle. You can drive over the fenders. I did drive over one of the fenders with the F-150. Lots of tie-down points. So you have one in each front corner, and then there's D-rings throughout. There's a couple larger rings in the middle. Another couple larger rings towards the back. There's a note here, pull vehicle forward until rear tire is centered on the dash line or front tires are resting firmly against the wheel stops, whichever comes first. So the F-150 wheelbase was too long to get the rear tire on this dash line, so I ended up pulling it forward to the front bar and had the tires resting on this bar. D-rings on the tongue for tying down straps to your vehicle. A really nice tongue jack. These front rails are pretty low. It would have been very easy for me to drive over these with the F-150, so fortunately I had a spotter who was able to tell me that I was about to put one of my tires over the rail, but it is very low. So that's something to be cautious of. There's a safety chain in the deck there, passenger rear, and there's a safety chain at the front. And here's the rear of the trailer, a couple D-rings at the back, 3 loading ramps. So that's it. It's a really nice trailer. Very, very nice, large, heavy trailer. When I had the trailer parked down here last night, I did chock the wheels, so best practice, get some wheel chocks if you're going to be working with trailers. Make sure to chock the trailer, one of the trailer wheels at least, front and back, when you have it disconnected from the vehicle so that it can't go anywhere. Okay, let's go.